Learfield. This is the Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now here's your host, Tim Hall.
All right, Buckeye fans, welcome to episode 2 of the winter/spring edition of Buckeye Roundtable. Wherever you are around the great state of Ohio and beyond, however you're listening, we appreciate you making this Monday night a part of your routine. And if you didn't know, you've always listened to the show, but you can actually watch the show now as well, live on YouTube. That's right. Every single episode is right there. So if you want to see what I'm wearing, if that's something that does it for you, I'm actually throwing my Columbus Crew jacket today, and that was before I even knew anything about the Cucho news. So that's how that's going. And speaking of guys leaving, we've got 2 Ohio State football coordinators that are gone now. I didn't tell you, by the way, how to watch on YouTube. Search up WBNS Radio. That's right. Just plug that in, and you can watch the show. But to get on with what we're doing tonight, we got a lot of good guests coming up like we always do. Women's basketball coach Kevin McGuff, another big win. They're 20-1 for the first time in program history, and they have 2 gigantic West Coast games. Undefeated UCLA, 21-0. 20-1 Ohio State. That's coming up here on Wednesday. Then they go and play USC. That's a top 5 team in the country as well. You talk about the schedule getting really difficult for the women's basketball team. I think they can handle it. Try and split that series when you go out there this week. That would be fantastic. But Kevin McGuff at the end of the hour, we always talk men's hockey in the second hour with Coach Steve Rollick. The hockey club got a split this past week as well, so that was nice to see. Michigan State's the number 2 team in the country, so to get a win against them, that was a good deal. And we'll talk football with our guys. Spencer Holbrook, he'll hit some of the recruiting angles. That'll be at 7:12 tonight, so don't miss that. And later on in this hour, Bill Rabinowitz, who covers everything Buckeye football for the Dispatch. And I'm sure he's super busy. Just when you think that the offseason is here, just when you think that you're going to get a chance to relax and take a couple of deep breaths after the grind of 4 games in a little more than a month span. It was more like a month and a half if you boil it down to it, with the build up to that Tennessee game and then when the national championship was on January 20th. There was a lot that went into that. But as soon as it was done, you've got to cover the other angles of this team, all the players that are departing, the transfer portal action, and now the coaches at Ohio State. You already knew that Justin Fry was taking an offensive line position in the NFL. We already went through losing Jim Knowles in conference to the same job, defensive coordinator at Penn State. That one stung a lot to see that one go that way. Had a lot of people immediately circle November 1st on the calendar when Penn State comes to the shoe. But now, Chip Kelly, the guy that came in right after you hired Bill O'Brien. You swung big with Bill O'Brien. That didn't work. You had another one waiting in the wings. That was an even bigger hire. Ryan Day's New Hampshire mentor, Chip Kelly himself, comes here to the Buckeyes, an NFL dude, built Oregon, helped build Oregon into what it is as we know now, was the current head coach at UCLA, stepped down to be the OC at Ohio State. 1 year, one and done, but you get a national championship out of it. That's the thing. It's one thing when you look at the players that you knew were going to be done just because their time was up. You got a couple guys that were leaving some eligibility on the table, but you also expect some of those guys, some of the talented players, to leave eligibility on the table and go. So that's not a complete shock. I would also say it's not a complete shock that you lose coaches. Maybe to lose both coordinators, but this is what happens, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. That's what you have going on here. You won the Natty. A lot of your guys are going to be hot commodities. So that is part of what you have to deal with. A lot of Buckeye hoops to talk about as well as the men's team. Oh, they were so close to getting something done in Champaign yesterday, but a brutal second half, really just a brutal closing 7.5 minutes was what it was, because the Bucks were up 11 at a very very good Illinois team and a tough place to play, but they couldn't hang on and get it to the finish line. They lost 87-79. We're going to talk some Buckeye hoops coming up here and get some of the comments from Jake Diebler. Yes, the Buckeyes do return to action Thursday against Maryland. Our network coverage begins at 6:15 with the Toyota Buckeye pregame show. Like I said, coming up, a lot of interesting things to say from head coach Jake Diebler on his radio show. We'll hit the rewind as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready?
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Settle in. Just getting started here. We are just getting cranked up. We got a good 2 hours here till 8 o'clock, folks. It's going to be good. You can join basketball coach Jake Diebler as he looks back at previous games and gets you ready for the week ahead on Inside Ohio State Athletics. It's Saturday mornings at 11:30 in Columbus on 10 TV and also statewide on ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Time now for the Jake Diebler Show Rewind.
All right, so we go back to the game yesterday. I am your guy for all of the post-game coverage for Buckeye men's basketball as well, just as I do for the football team during football season. So we got that little bit of convergence there where it's double dipping. It's actually a long time because the basketball season starts way back in November and football season just finished. So we've been doing both for quite a bit of time, and I know a lot of you are starting to refamiliarize yourselves with this basketball team and get more into it, and you might look at that record and not be completely blown away. But I do want to tell you, I think there's some positive signs with this basketball team. We don't have to be happy, and nor should we be, that they had an 11-point lead on the road at Illinois and they let it slip away. I just don't want I want to keep some perspective about it at the same time, because it's year one with Jake Diebler. They've had a few really difficult close losses here. The ones that I had big problems with is how they got blown out earlier against Maryland and how they got blown out against Auburn. You never want to see your basketball team trailing by 40-plus points against anybody. But again, the 40-point blowouts or 1 or 2 point losses, they all count the same in the win-loss column when it's all said and done. So 13-9, 5-6 in conferences where the Buckeyes are. If they would have found a way to survive against Illinois, they would have actually been ahead of the Illini in the standings. That's how badly this Illinois basketball team needed it as well. So they hit the Buckeyes with about 5 uppercuts with 8 minutes left to go, and Ohio State just simply did not have a response. It was all Illinois, and I think it was the struggles that Ohio State had offensively when you're on the road and the crowd's getting into a fever pitch. I think there's a mental thing that happens when you're not hitting shots, when you're kind of playing into Illinois' defensive game plan. Then they got out and transitioned a couple times. The big, windmill dunk was just something for their crowd. And I think that's what tied the game for Illinois. And then it went from bad to worse. And you could tell that they were going to get the win. But here was Jake Diebler from his show today, the story of that Illinois loss.
Really, for about 30 minutes, we played well. 30 minutes isn't enough on the road against a really good team in a great environment. But I thought we did some really good things. We didn't make enough shots down the stretch. I think we ended maybe 3 for 17 ended the game. Some of that was shot selection, certainly. Some of it was we missed some, that we typically make. But, and then I thought our defense just didn't quite hold on and was good enough, the second half of the second half. But some good things to take from it. Certainly disappointed, in the result, because it was a great opportunity for us to get a quad one win. But, life in the Big Ten, you got another opportunity coming up here real quick.
Good news is, and because I've been following the team so closely and I've been following their offensive and defensive trends, the positive sign with this Buckeye basketball team here lately with the 3-game winning streak, and then with the great opportunity to make it a 4-game winning streak and have a high-quality win, as he just said, quad one, meaning that's the highest quality win you can get in the eyes of the selection committee. They look at the net rankings that took over the old RPI, those 3 letters that you've heard when you're getting your tournament brackets ready. So that's a big deal. But the Buckeyes are currently in most tournament projections. You look at Joe Lunardi's bracketology, they're in right now. But they're in that last 4 bye. So not having to go to Dayton, but in the big field. If they would have beat Illinois, I'm pretty sure they would have moved to the 8-9 line come today. And I think they also would have been, and I know I'm speaking of would-haves and could-haves. So that's the difference right there. They've now got to go back out there starting this Thursday when they host Maryland and earn it again. They can't let what they built in the 3-game winning streak come apart because of 10 or 8 bad minutes down the stretch against Illinois. I was really impressed with what they did for most of the game. That's a really good team, and Illinois was sort of in a free fall of their own. So they were hitting their point where they had to look in the mirror as well if they were going to continue on and reach some of the expectations that they had previously set. So they needed it. I'm not going to say that Ohio State didn't need that win. We needed that game as well, but so did Illinois. So that's what happened. But little thing with the injuries in this one that affected how this one played out. They had their 7-footer back and a good one. Their second best player, Tomislav Ivisic. He had mono. He wasn't even able to practice. He missed a few games. He went back, and then, of course, Sean Stewart doesn't get to play at all because he's sick. Diebler broke that down.
Yeah, well, I think there were a lot of question marks. Him for them, Sean for us. They added one. We subtracted one. That certainly wasn't the way we would have liked to draw it up, Ron. But, he's a really good player. He changes the dynamic of their team, gives them allows them to play 2 bigs, which they hadn't really for a significant stretch since he had been out. So, and they even went at times with no bigs for a lot of the last few games. So, yeah, it was we were kind of preparing for all of the things, which presents challenges certainly. But I think for us, him being in there certainly was a positive for him. For us, missing Sean, and listen, Sean deserves a ton of credit. He tried everything he could to get back to play. He just couldn't quite get there.
And that was the thing, too, where Njegevon, he is doing his darndest to make an impact on this team, and he does, just with his size alone, the 7'1" guy from Croatia for the Buckeyes. Big to have a European player. Haven't had an international player in quite some time. I think it was Amadeo Della Valle the last time. So I just like the vibe that you get. It kind of shows that you are willing to branch out and take a look internationally. I think that's something that the Buckeyes need and should be doing at all times. And just the fact that you've got a 7'1" guy for the first time in a while. And you have two of them. You have Aaron Bradshaw as well, but he and Bradshaw were not able to hit the glass. And that was a big factor in this game, getting demolished on the boards. The Buckeye guards were able to do some of that rebounding, but you need more from your front line going on from here. But the defensive plan that Illinois had and employed, the way they play for the basketball junkies out here, Diebler broke that down and some of the shots they were getting and why it went bad.
This game was unique because they play a style that really puts you in one-on-one or two-on-two in ball screen situations. So there's not they really prevent a lot of opportunity for driving kicks. And so you really, I thought for us, part of our issue offensively was we didn't make them kind of guard longer in the clock. The shot we took, we probably could have gotten 10 seconds later, but we needed to take those 10 seconds to try to get something better.
Yep.
And that was the disappointing thing. And we had talked about that going into the game. And I felt like we didn't adjust specifically in the second half well enough to that. And that's why our assist numbers were so low, too. It's part of their design, but I thought we played into it too much there in the second half.
Illinois stays home, right? They take that chunk of the floor. They run you off that three-point line, especially a guy like John Mobley, who still hits 4 for 8. Of course, he goes 4 for 8 from 3, and this is the game where he really struggles the most offensively, because you can look and say 18 points is a good game, but then you look and see, what was your efficiency? 6 for 21. That's rough with 1 assist, and he fouls out of the game. Illinois says, you take that 18-foot to 8-foot range and just go nuts. We're going to stay at home. We're almost going to dare you to do that. And Bruce Thornton had some great looks that he missed. John Mobley had a ton of great looks that he missed. He just wasn't mentally focused to knock those down. Credit Devin Royal, who just continues to improve and just went nuts in that first half. Gave them the opportunity to go and win this game with his 29 points and 7 rebounds. Bruce winds up with 22 as well. So you hate to see 29 and 22 from those guys and lose the game, but that's how it happened. Will Riley off the bench for Illinois, a stud freshman with 24 points. That was a factor as well. Buckeyes playing Maryland on Thursday, and they are a different team than that last time they played them on the road a couple months ago. Coach's comments were presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. Every single week here on Roundtable, we are going to recap the Buckeyes national championship here in 2024. The road to the national championship flashback continues. It's Buckeye Roundtable.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland.
I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
From the first one born in the USA to the tens of millions that followed, from the American highways to the NASCAR race days, more people have counted on their Camrys than any other car for over 22 years. And now, Camry is even better. It's all hybrid all the time to be more efficient yet powerful, with available all-wheel drive for the capability to go wherever you want to go in style and comfort. For the latest offers, go to Toyota.com and make your own history. Toyota, let's go places.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back. It is Buckeye Roundtable. It's presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. We're going to hit you with the national championship flashback here shortly. Got to soak it in, right? You can't just win the Natty and then move on to all this stuff like who's going to coach our team. Got to enjoy it a little bit. We're paying the price right now for winning the national championship. We paid the price before, right, as we all know, with the NIL game, and now you're losing a lot of your key players, you're losing some coaches. But hey, Buckeye fans, say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings with a fixed price plan with AEP Energy. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And be sure to tune in each game for the AEP Energy halftime report.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Road to the National Championship Flashback. Hit it!
All right, so this week in the Road to the National Championship flashback, we are going to head to Big Ten play. Yes, indeed. We did the non-con in our first edition last week. Remember, we talked about this. We have just 12 episodes of this winter-spring roundtable edition, and we got 16 games to go through, and I want to hit on every single game. So I have to package a couple of them together. So we hit Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall. Now, if you remember, in that Marshall game on Saturday, September 21st, we had Coach Huff with just the amazing stuff where he talked about Tudor's Biscuit World and how he has an NIL deal for all the Buckeyes that would want to transfer down to Marshall, and that was absolutely crazy. And then what happened to Marshall at the end of the season? I guess Tudor's Biscuit World wasn't enough because weren't they not able to play a bowl game because all their guys left? So all the biscuits in the world weren't keeping them around Huntington, West Virginia. But still, it was one of the most memorable sound bites from a coach all college football season. So we're coming off that Marshall win, 49-14, but it was a dicey first half. Marshall had the lead on the Buckeyes, and until Ohio State opened up in the second quarter, you didn't really love what you were seeing. So I know that there were some feelings around the Woody that they needed to make some improvements going into Big Ten play. But you're going on the road to Michigan State Saturday, September 28th. So I absolutely did get in the lab again today. So you're going to hear some play-by-play clips. I'm sure Jeremiah Smith and some of his immaculate catches that he had in both the Michigan State game and the Iowa game are going to be featured. So we do a two-pack of games here. We call it heading for October, I guess. We're on the road at Michigan State, and then game 2 in here, Saturday, October 5th, the home game. They flip around and host Iowa. So here it is, your national championship flashback tonight.
They've done a nice job. I mean, they're playing hard, and they put some good pieces into it, and they're a good team. To win that game on the road against Maryland really, they caught everybody's attention.
Michigan State and Ohio State both have hit the field. The Spartans wearing their traditional green jerseys, green helmets, and white pants. Will Howard in the shotgun. Quick snap, hands. Now he gives it on a reverse. Jeremiah Smith curling around to the right. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jeremiah Smith. So Ohio State first down to the Michigan State 44 with 1:01 to play until halftime.
Natural grass.
Buckeyes on the ball. Howard out of the shotgun. Has it, looks, he fires down the right sideline, in the air, Jeremiah Smith, one-handed grab as he comes down with it at the 18 of Michigan State, Jeremiah Smith.
One-handed, that's a great catch.
Incredible catches. Yeah. 3rd and 10, Ohio State at the Spartan 17. Now Scott motions to the right. Devin Brown gets set, gets the snap, pressure coming. Devin Brown looks, throws right side, one-handed into the end zone. Another one, touchdown on a 17-yard play.
What does it say about Devin to be able to come in and deliver that kind of pass? That was a clutch play. It was a clutch play. He put it there, and we told him, if you have the opportunity to throw it, rip it.
Ohio State 38-7 defeating Michigan State at Spartan Stadium. That's our final.
To say we're going to out-scheme Iowa, I think that's not going to happen. You got to play hard.
Who's going to go on top? Howard looking to throw under pressure. He guns it up the left side, and it's intercepted. Iowa ggets the pick as it comes down at the Hawkeye 38-yard line, and snagging that ball for Iowa was Sebastian Castro, defensive back.
When you have a couple things you'd like back, you learn from those, and there's also, he doesn't get rattled.
Smith wide to the left. First and goal, Ohio State at the Iowa 4. Will Howard under center. Gets the snap. Looks. Lost it. Left corner of the end zone. Jeremiah Smith. One-handed grab for a score as he shoves the defender away from him. Jeremiah Smith with another magical catch. Fighting corner to Sean Lee in the corner of the end zone. Will Howard straight behind his center, Seth McLaughlin. Back to pass. Howard looks with pressure coming. Fires it up the left side toward the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Emeka Ibuka. He squeezes one in from 15 yards out.
And there's times where, I even try to rattle him in practice, and he doesn't. I mean, he kind of looks, I got you, coach. All right.
The second half, obviously, things didn't go our way. Gave up a drive and then 3 turnovers. So to beat a team like this, it's going to be tough to turn, lose the turnover battle.
We really wanted to come out and have a great drive, to start the third quarter. And then we started getting the short fields on the turnovers, and the game just, flipped there. And I think it ended up being 28 straight points. That was good to see. Not that you like to see those kind of things, but it is good to face a little bit of adversity and see how our team responds. And so all things we can learn from.
We beat ourselves. It's never, the other team beating us is us beating ourselves. But, it's all about how you respond, and we came back and we did a great job. So, I'm proud of the way that we played, but, we got a big one coming up next week, so I'm excited.
All right, so there you go. National championship flashback moving into October. Buckeyes beat Michigan State on the road in East Lansing 38-7, and then they come back home to the Shoe and beat Iowa 35-7. As you heard Ryan Day at the end of that there, that was a sluggish first half, right? It ended with it was a couple of turnovers. You heard me throw a turnover in there because I want to tell the whole entire story of this season, not just the good stuff. When there's adversity, you're going to tell that story as well. And like Will Howard is alluding to, pretty big game coming up the next week. If you put yourself back to Saturday, October 5th, and you're coming off of that win over Iowa, you know what's on the schedule. You know you're going to Oregon, and that is the game that everybody circled at the start of the season. That was always going to be one of the biggest games in all of college football. And it did hold up. It wasn't the result, but we're going to tell the story of that game next week for sure. And, the clips from Ryan Day in that piece about Will Howard, I think we heard him talk about that a lot, didn't we, throughout the course of the season? And rightfully so, because he really would just have that one mistake. And sometimes it was a bigger mistake, like when we get to the Penn State game and it's a pick 6. But that interception that he had against Iowa, it was not a great decision. He was kind of backpedaling a little bit and threw it out, and it was a ball that shouldn't have been thrown. Not a good decision. Not necessarily the worst throw ever, but not a great decision to do it. Jeremiah Smith lost a fumble in that one, too. And, of course, it was after a big play. That's how it goes. But Jeremiah, in both those games, this was sort of the coming out party where we knew, okay, you can cut one of his arms off. He's probably still going to be a great college football wide receiver because he only needs one hand and one arm to go and do this thing. And he's just crazy. I also love this. I had to pull this one from the Iowa game. Jim Lachey, of course, our great color commentator for the radio broadcast for a quarter century here, for the second time got the luxury to call a game that his son is playing. And we hope Luke Lachey for Iowa is going to go on and have an NFL career. But this was just priceless when Luke committed a penalty.
First down Iowa at the Ohio State 30. Caleb Johnson remains a tailback as Brendan Sullivan works under center. Buckeyes line jump, but they get back, but we get whistles and flags, which we've had very few of.
No, now they're calling a false start. That'd be the first penalty on the Hawkeyes.
False start. Offense number 85. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Oh, Luke.
Oh, Luke. Something tells me, though, I don't think Dad is all that disappointed. I think you have made him proud. Coming up, we're going to talk some more Buckeye football. We're going to hit the red zone with Bill Rabinowitz of the Dispatch. A lot going on with his Buckeye staff. Let's see what he thinks about it all as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
As the official hot dog of Ohio State athletics, Sugardale is dedicated to delicious. Whether you're cheering on the Buckeyes at the game or grilling at your home tailgate, you can count on Sugardale to score a touchdown. Made right here in Ohio for more than 100 years, Sugardale has always taken a personal approach to making great-tasting, high-quality meats. Look for Sugardale hot dogs, bacon, ham, and more at your local grocery store.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show, presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. I'm going to talk some more Buckeye football here with Bill Rabinowitz. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Kroger, Donato's, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
Bill Rabinowitz does a great job covering this football team for the Dispatch all year long. Now, Bill, we lost Jim Knowles. I guess about that time we started to hear rumors that maybe Chip Kelly could take a look to go back to the NFL. He does that. He goes to the Raiders for a giant pile of cash. How surprised are you that now the Buckeyes have lost both coordinators?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the Knowles thing is a bit of a head scratcher in a way because it's a lateral move. I mean, he's not a head coach somewhere. He's not going to the NFL. But it's understandable in other ways. It's going back to his home state. Now, State College and Philadelphia are worlds apart, both geographically and culturally. But, Jim Knowles said in his little speech or whatever to the Penn State team that, look, he grew up a Penn State fan. This has been a dream of his. And, okay, and they threw a boatload of cash at him. And I think Jim Knowles is the kind of guy, you look at his history, he bounces around. He goes to a place, he succeeds, and then he moves on. He's just not a guy who's ever really been a long-term guy anywhere. I think he probably felt mission accomplished. He could kind of cash in, and off he went.
Yeah.
So the Chip Kelly thing is, look, Chip Kelly and Ryan Day are exceptionally close. There's no way in the world that Chip Kelly would have blindsided Ryan Day by leaving. That had to have been kind of the understood plan. Come coach with us, let's win a championship, and then we'll see. Chip Kelly applied for and pursued some NFL jobs last year before coming to Ohio State. I think this was always going to be a short-term thing. I didn't know, did he love coaching with Ryan Day so much that he would want to stay for longer than he would otherwise, but clearly he had the itch to get back to the NFL.
I mean, if you look at Chip Kelly as well, I think that's his sixth job since Oregon. And if you count 2012 with Oregon,
right.
Sixth job for him as well. So also pretty a nomadic guy indeed. Bill, now there's a lot of talk about internal hires where that's obviously not the direction they went to bring in Chip Kelly, Bill O'Brien before that when it didn't work out, and Jim Knowles. What do you think they're going to do? What should they do this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give Ryan Day advice. He doesn't need it from me. But I think on the defensive side, I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Guerrieri got a long look. Maybe Tim Walton, who's been a coordinator, got a long look. Guerrieri came up in the Knowles school. I think if they want to have that kind of system, he would be a guy they would take a long look at. But think about it this way: this Ohio State coming off a national championship, he could probably get the pick of the litter. I mean, he's probably being inundated with resumes. He can find somebody that's really good. I think it all depends on how much change he wants the team to go through. And, yeah, almost all the starters on defense are leaving, but the guys who are backups have played in the system. They had a lot of reps, and so I think that I think the continuity thing still is a factor. So, I don't know. I mean, actually, today I was at a funeral in Dayton. So the Dayton sports writer, Mark Katz, I don't know if people in Columbus remember him. He covered Ohio State for a long time. A great guy. He was actually my next door neighbor. He passed away on Friday. So
I'm sorry to hear that, Bill.
Yeah. So if anything happened today, I wouldn't know. I'm driving back with my sister from Dayton. So, your listeners might be better informed today than I am. No, so that's, and then offensively, I think Ryan Day wants to have somebody that he can turn the keys over to, and kind of like what he did last year with Bill O'Brien and Chip Kelly. I don't think he wants to go back to being the play caller, and I don't think there's anybody on the staff right now that's capable of doing that. So I would expect that to be more of an external hire. I mean, maybe he thinks Brian Hartline's ready for it. I don't know what kind of development he's kind of had under Chip Kelly, but that would be, I guess, in theory, an option. But again, it's Ohio State coming off a national championship. I think that they can get whoever they want.
I agree. They're going to be attractive, and you didn't miss any breaking news, Bill. I'm sorry for your loss there as well. That's difficult. But we're with Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch, Buckeye football reporter. I was actually looking at something just before you came on the line with me, and it's a way too early All-American team. It's just the first team, just the 22 guys. And for Ohio State, there's 3 names on it. And I easily got the first 2. It was Jeremiah Smith offense, Caleb Downs defense. And then I was sifting through it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the Buckeyes got Max Clare from Purdue. How about that? Like, there's a name we haven't really discussed a lot, but what he could do with Julian Sain and the rest of these guys that filter into these spots that are available on offense.
Yeah, I think Max Clare is really going to be an impact player. He was on a very, very bad Purdue team. He stood out. I mean, he was the one option. I think he had more than double the number of receptions than any wide receiver on that team. And he had 50-something. I think the leading receiver at 23. If I'm trying to remember this, something like that.
They were really bad, Bill. But you're right.
Really bad.
He's a 6'4", 240. Yeah.
I mean, and he was third team All Big Ten. Okay, third. Well, the other 2 were Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland, who are going to be first-round draft picks. And so to be third team Big Ten, all Big Ten last year, you had Luke Lachey, who was in the league, Jim Lachey's son, who was a very good player at Iowa. So there were a lot of good tight ends in the Big Ten. And you still have, Jelani Thurman is there, Will Kazmarik's there, Bennett Christian's there. That's going to be a very, very good tight end room. That was a position that was overlooked this year. But G. Scott Jr. made an impact. I mean, he especially in the postseason, he was a player. Made some pivotal plays. And so, but to get Max Clare from Purdue, that's a really good get.
Yeah, it's huge. It's just one of those things we hadn't been talking about a lot. And, the to-do list is long, Bill, but it's all worth it. You won a national championship, so it's a little easier to deal with the headache. Right. It'll be all right.
Right. I mean, I would hope that the fan base, if they lose to Texas in the opener, won't, calling for Ryan Day's head after they win a national championship. There probably will be some growing pains. That's a tough opener. It is in Columbus, so they have a chance. But, the other thing is with a 12-team playoff, a loss is not the end of the world. They could lose 2 games. We know they can lose 2 games and still, be fine. So I think that, patience will probably be in order. This team will probably have some growing pains. And it's not going to be as dominant. Although, honestly, this team that won it all was not nearly as dominant in the regular season as we all thought they would be. It was just they peaked at the right time. They turned it on and became the team that we thought they would be in the postseason.
It's going to be a wild offseason. We know that. Bill Rabinowitz from the Dispatch, thanks a lot for giving us some time here on a Monday. Appreciate it.
Always happy to be on with Jenny.
Yep, good stuff. There he goes. Follow Bill Rabinowitz on all the social media platforms to get his coverage and check him out at the Dispatch. The Foundation is operating a 50-50 raffle at each Ohio State home men's hoops game this season. Proceeds support community-based NIL opportunities and the Foundation charities. For more on how you can participate, visit the Foundation's social media channels. We are talking with head women's basketball coach Kevin McGuff. They are 20-1. That's next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. Coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's, Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota.
With 25 different choices that'll have you ready for anything, including the new all-hybrid best-selling Camry, the adventurous best-selling RAV4, the best-selling, more powerful Tacoma,
And the newest member of the Crown family, the Toyota Crown Signia.
all come with the traction you need for confident driving.
Any road, any weather. Toyota all-wheel drive.
The more you know, the more you'll drive Toyota.
Let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Guarantee a game day win when you get Bob's discount on feature-packed reclining sectionals with all the bells and whistles. We're talking wireless charging and USB ports, drop-down tables with cup holders for snacks and beverages, power reclining foot and headrest, and even hidden storage. All for hundreds less than the competition. So stop in and see how much you can save at Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Going to talk to Kevin McGuff, the women's basketball coach, in just a second. The 2025 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer will set sail on the Silver Sea Silver Moon. It's an intimate ship with an even better experience. All-inclusive beverages, shore excursions, taxes and gratuities. Sail from Fort Lauderdale to bucket list ports like Jamaica and Nassau, Bahamas, with plenty of former Buckeye greats. Call 614-792-6204 and book today. Always a good time to talk some basketball. And Kevin, since we saw you last, just the one game, just yesterday, and an entertaining game as you guys survive and beat Washington 66-56. Some good things. I'm sure some things you want to clean up, but Cody McMahon hitting some shots, making some plays to extend that lead in the fourth quarter so you guys can get the W.
Yes, she played really well in general, and especially down the stretch, had some big baskets. And we weren't shooting the ball real well yesterday. We weren't finishing around the basket like we normally do. So really, we had to dig in with our defense and our rebounding down the stretch to come away with the win.
What did you do with the extra time? Because typically you're used to having the 2 games a week, right? A weeknight game and then a weekend game. You hadn't played since last Sunday on the road in Nebraska. Was that a benefit to this team right now with the way things are?
Yeah, yes and no. It's interesting. We had a bad loss at Penn State, and then we came back and had 2 good wins versus Nebraska and Maryland. And so I thought we got back into a good rhythm, and then you got a week off. But it was good from the standpoint of we spent a couple days just kind of focused on ourselves with no opponent right in front of us, and we took a couple days off. And then later in the week we started to ramp up our preparation for Washington.
It seems like you blink, Kevin, right? And holy heck, it's February, and you've got the Western road trip coming up, but 8 games left on the schedule. You guys have just been on fire. I mean, the 20-1, I feel like it's worth a mention because it hasn't been done before in school history. I know you're not satisfied, so don't take it that way. But just your thoughts on the season thus far, where this team can still continue to go.
Yeah, we've obviously done a lot of great things, and we've won a lot of games. And it's sort of gone. I didn't know what the record would be, but the season in general has been kind of what I thought. And what I mean by that is, a year ago we were a really older, mature team with J.C. Selden in her 5th year and Rebecca Michalak-Koven in her 5th year and Ricky Harris in her 5th year. So we had a lot of people who really knew what we were doing. And that led to a lot of consistent play. Yeah. Now, this year, with a lot of newcomers and relying on a lot more
younger players, we have the talent. We were very fortunate. We brought in great recruits from the portal and as freshmen. So I like our talent level, but even within specific games, we are really up and down. And so I think the key for us is as we head kind of down the backstretch of the season, if we can develop more consistent play towards who we're capable of being, then I think we could have a great finish. But we've got to get more consistent play out of our team.
We know about some of your stars. I also find it interesting when I was looking back on things. You've had 7 different players lead your team in scoring throughout the season. But I wanted to ask specifically because Elsa Lamiglia, she had one of those huge games early on. It was at Ohio. That was back in November. But she's been picking up in minutes here the last few. And, she had 4 blocks against Maryland, which is big, right? 9 rebounds at Nebraska, and then 7 boards in the win over Washington and playing some good defense, involved in 3 steals. What kind of element does she bring, first of all, with the size that she has, the height advantage she has?
Yeah, she's got great size and length, and she's also a really good athlete. She can jump and she can run and she's quick. And so she really brings a lot to the table, especially around the basket defensively and with rebounding. And she's just gotten better and better and better. She's a hard worker. She's a great kid. She's a really disciplined practice player. You tell her how to do something, she does it that way every time, which has allowed her to build really good habits. And so I think she's going to continue to really impact us in a big way for the rest of this year. And maybe more importantly, she has a very bright future ahead of her.
Kevin McGuff is talking some hoops with us here on Buckeye Roundtable. So here we go. This is the Western trip that I'm sure you had circled at the start of the season to figure out how this goes, to finally feel what it's like. You can't make too big of a deal out of it. You're going to be doing this in the Big Ten, but you're getting out there tonight, so you're going to get the full day to sort of get acclimated, get ready for the UCLA game, which is first up on Wednesday. How do you think this is going to go?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've got a huge challenging week ahead of us. I mean, UCLA is ranked number 1 in the country and the only lone undefeated team in women's basketball. And they're deservedly so ranked number 1. They're very, very talented. They're well coached. It's a really tough game, but also a great opportunity. We're excited to take a swing at it, and so we practice today, and we'll get out there and practice tomorrow, and put our best foot forward Wednesday night.
So UCLA and Ohio State, it's crazy, right? 21-0 versus 20-1, and after UCLA, you guys have, of course, the USC trip. So you kind of pack it in right there. You guys are switching hotels. Did I hear that, just to be closer to both gyms, both arenas?
Yeah, it's just hard because the traffic is tough out there, and it's kind of unpredictable. And if something goes wrong, and then you could be late for a game or just mess up your practice time. And so we'll spend the first 3 days in Westwood, and then we'll head downtown for the second 3 days to be closer to USC.
Did I hear, besides practice, your players did something pretty cool for what you're going to be doing tomorrow in between the practice at Pauley and killing some time and getting ready for the game?
Yeah, so our upperclassmen, I think Cody specifically, came up with this. She's got friends on UCLA and USC teams. She's been talking to them, and she came up with an idea. We actually went out in the community. We raised a little money. I mean, we've got over $3,000 that we raised just real quickly. And so the kids are going to go to Target. They're going to buy some necessities for some people in need that have been affected by the wildfires, and put together some care packages. And then we're going to get with I don't know what we landed on, a specific organization that can help distribute these to people who need it. And so, yeah, really, really cool idea. Really, happy and proud of them for thinking of ways that we could impact some people who need it out there.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Of course, that being, heavy in the news the last month, everything that's going on in LA, and that's exactly the area you guys are heading to. That's very cool from Cody and the rest of your players to think of that stuff. That's awesome. But Kevin, good luck in the basketball games, UCLA and USC coming up. It doesn't get any tougher, doesn't get any bigger than that. So best of luck to you guys.
Thanks, Tim.
Always good catching up with you, Kevin. And boy, I was just talking to my producer, Bodie, about this before the segment. How many times in women's basketball history have you had a game where the combined records are 41-1? 21-0 UCLA, 20-1 Ohio State playing on Wednesday. How are the Buckeyes ranked 8th? Says something about the top of women's basketball right now, right? That they're 21 and ranked 8th, but they're incredible right now. You should pay attention to them. They are primed to make a big run in the tournament. We got so much good stuff coming up in the next hour. Spencer Holbrook talking some Buckeye football, Steve Rollick on hockey. It's all coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's Buckeye Roundtable.
Donato's is dancing into 2025 with a New Year's deal that's too good to miss. All January long, get 25% off everything you order online. That's 25% off Donato's famous thin crust pizzas, oven-baked subs, fresh salads, wings, desserts, all your Donato's favorites. So get 2025 started with 25% off your online order now and throughout January using promo code 2025. Order with the app or at donatos.com.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Guarantee a game day win when you get Bob's discount on feature-packed reclining sectionals with all the bells and whistles. We're talking wireless charging and USB ports, drop-down tables with cup holders for snacks and beverages, power reclining foot and headrests, and even hidden storage. All for hundreds less than the competition. So stop in and see how much you can save at Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Buddy Wiles. We'll start with college basketball. As yesterday, the Ohio State men saw their 3-game win streak get snapped as they fell to Illinois 87-79 in Champaign. The Buckeyes will look to bounce back on Thursday night this week. That's when they host number 18 Maryland. Tip-off is at 7. As for the 8th-ranked Ohio State women, they kept rolling as they beat Washington yesterday evening 66-56. Ohio State is now 20-1 overall this season. Next up, it's a pair of top 10 matchups in L.A. this week for the Buckeyes. On Wednesday night, they'll take on number 1 UCLA at 9:30. And then on Saturday night, they'll face number 7 Southern California. In hockey, the Blue Jackets had their 3-game win streak get snapped in Dallas last night as they lost to the Stars 5-3. The CBJ wrap up their 4-game road trip in Buffalo tomorrow night. Face off against the Sabres is at 7. And in the NBA, the Cavaliers won their 4th game in a row on Sunday, pummeling the Mavericks 144-101. Next up, they'll host the Celtics tomorrow night at 7:30. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan.
From the first one born in the USA to the tens of millions that followed, from the American highways to the NASCAR race days, more people have counted on their Camrys than any other car for over 22 years. And now, Camry is even better. It's all hybrid all the time to be more efficient yet powerful. With available all-wheel drive for the capability to go wherever you want to go in style and comfort. For the latest offers, go to Toyota.com and make your own history. Toyota, let's go places.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hour 2 of Buckeye Roundtable. It is here and now, baby. Lucky you. 10 minutes from now, we're going to talk some more Buckeye football, hit some of the recruiting slants with Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row. After that, we'll talk some men's hockey with Steve Rollick. We'll hit you with a Elk and Elk injury report, see what's ailing the Buckeye men's basketball team right now as well. But this is Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. The Buckeye men's basketball team does return to action on Thursday night, hosting Maryland at 7 o'clock. Our pregame coverage begins at 6:15. Right now, it's time to talk a little high school basketball.
It's time for the Encova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
Oh, yes. One of the highlights of the Buckeye Roundtable show is the presentation of the Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each show, Encova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honor a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. This week's recipient is Brunswick point guard Trey Drexler. Trey the Glide Drexler. That's what I'm calling him. The former Brunswick ball boy, all the way back when he was a third grader. He's now doing it for his school night in and night out. How awesome is that? Last year, he was part of the school's first ever Elite Eight appearance, and they want to do more this year. Right now, they're 13-3. They've won 7 straight. The 76-58 win over Strongsville put them in a good place mentally. Drexler had 8 of his 24 points in the third quarter. His teammate Aiden Shaker scored 25. Quite a 1-2 punch with that pair. But Drexler, the floor general, he's in his third year starting, and he recently amassed 1,000 points for his career. Head coach Joe Mackey is quite proud of the player he's turned into. So congratulations once again to Brunswick's Trey Drexler, recipient of this week's Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Athlete of the Week Award. Encova Insurance, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for the American Dairy Association Mini statewide top performers on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Let's go to Central Ohio. Shout out to the Centerburg girls basketball team. They're off to a 17-3 start, an 11-3 conference record as they head to tournament time. They are led once again this year by Kayla Lattimore, averaging 21 points per game, 6 boards. She was the KMAC Player of the Year last season, could take that again. She's first-team All-District, special mention All-State a season ago as well. They just beat Highland 57-34 on Saturday. Also recognition to former Buckeye Hoops walk-on Harrison Hookfin. I did not know this. I saw this in the dispatch. He's coaching hoops in our community. He's up at Northside Christian while he's also pursuing his master's in public health and preparing for med school. Who does he think he is? Aaron Kraft? That's good for him. That is really awesome. So a lot going on for him, and still time to coach this basketball team and doing a good job. He's got them at a 13-5 mark, 7-3 in the Mid-Ohio Christian Athletic League. Musa Jallo is one of his assistants. So it's really Buckeye basketball family up there. And how about down to the Cincy area, hitting on some big games in that area, some great big-time performances. Winton Woods gets to 12-1 with a win at Milford. They won that game going away, 63-33, all-around team effort. Players like Nate Dawson and Carter Ings. Seven Hills improved to 15-4. They beat Purcell Marion. Terrence Yarborough and Lemuel Zion stepped up for Seven Hills in this one. And up in that Cleveland area, some praise for the Highland Hornets, who beat Copley to get to 20-0 on the season. A perfect season. That's no joke. And that's what they got going on right now. Madison Morgan had a huge second quarter where she had 11 of her 17 points. That helped propel her team to the 55-43 road win. So good job. Good job. Speaking of Cleveland, did you guys see the points that the Cavaliers put in on the Luka Doncic-less Dallas Mavericks? 91 points in the first half. 50 points in the first quarter. Where are we at in society? I mean, are you kidding me? Points like that? I know it's the NBA, but my goodness. I will say too, not to go too far off track because this is Buckeye Roundtable, but when you got news that shatters the sports world like that, it's not every day where you get completely taken aback by a trade. And for Luka Doncic to be going to the LA Lakers just out of the blue, and then to read some of the stuff about possibly why with the conditioning and with him being off injured. But the guy they're bringing in is the aging off injured Anthony Davis. So it's like, what are we doing here? Just wild stuff though. We'll see how that works out for LA. LeBron getting a new partner. Hey, we circle back. LeBron's a pretend Buckeye, right? So it all circle back together. Our top performers from around the state, presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder from Ohio's dairy farmers, 8 ounces of delicious chocolate milk has 8 grams of high-quality protein with the power to fuel everyone from elite athletes to weekend warriors. We're going to talk some more Buckeye football and some recruiting with Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
When it comes to all-wheel drive vehicles, nobody gives you more to choose from than Toyota.
With 25 different choices that'll have you ready for anything, including the new all-hybrid best-selling Camry, the adventurous best-selling RAV4, the best-selling, more powerful Tacoma,
and the newest member of the Crown family, the Toyota Crown Signia.
All come with the traction you need for confident driving.
Any road, any weather. Toyota all-wheel drive.
The more you know, the more you'll drive Toyota.
Let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We roll on. Welcome back. I'm Timmy Hall. Our show is presented by Burger King. You can visit your local BK restaurant, grab your $20 Buckeye Blitz bundle that includes 2 Whoppers, a cheeseburger, 3 small fries, 3 small drinks, and a custom OSU crown. Only at Burger King, where you rule.
It's time to talk Ohio State recruiting. This is Buckeye Roundtable's On the Trail.
Spencer Holbrook of Letterman Row is with us. It's good to have you back on the show. So that's what I'm going to eat, Spencer. Then what are you going to have?
I ordered some Mexican food from down here in Grove City. It was delicious. No free advertising. I won't give out the spot, but it was pretty good. It's our favorite spot.
That's good, man. I hope you had enough for 3, because that's about how hungry I am when I get off the air at 8 o'clock. I can eat for 3 people.
I believe it, Timmy. I believe it.
Spencer, we got a lot to talk about. Before I touch on a couple of recruiting things, just everything that's going on with not the roster, but the coaching staff. We knew we were going to lose some guys, but the fact that you lose Jim Knowles and then you lose Chip Kelly this weekend to the NFL, what's your thoughts on everything going on with the staff?
I mean, it's kind of the cost of doing business when you win a national championship, right? I mean, they put together what a lot of people believe was the best coaching staff in college football, and people want members of the best coaching staff in college football. They want a piece of that pie that Ohio State just put together to win a national championship, and it kind of makes sense. Chip Kelly didn't surprise me at all because I knew he was going to be sought after for the work that he did with Will Howard and with that offense, with the run game. Justin Fry shouldn't surprise a lot of people. He's really well regarded in the industry. I know there's some Ohio State fans that don't like him. It's one of those things where, depending on who they hire, it's like be careful what you wish for, because he was really good in developing offensive linemen. And then with Jim Knowles, I just think that there were some things there that, caused him to go to Penn State. So, none of it really truly surprises you, especially with some of these, analysts and things like Riley Larkin, the quarterback analyst, going to the Patriots, Lealon Clark, the defensive line assistant, going to Texas, like that kind of stuff. That upward mobility doesn't really surprise you with any of this. And especially when you win a national championship, you get so far under the microscope that you expect to lose some guys.
Well, let's talk about losing Justin Fry, because I know, like, with the recruiting angle here, there were some guys that you would have loved to reel in, but I mean, there's a lot of position coaches that are trying to reel in some big fish, and they can have hot streaks and cold streaks. Like, that happens in the world of recruiting. But I think to the more important point is how that unit in the present was hit with adversity, and they had to hold their own, or else this team wasn't going to win a national championship. And he played a big part in allowing those guys to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And, that he's really good at what he does. Like, I've watched him a lot when we're in the Woody for, open practices and things like that. Justin Fry is really good at what he does. And then to replace him is going to be difficult. To replace him on the trail, I know people don't want to hear this, but the relationships that he was building with some of these in-state guys in that 2026 class, to kind of tie it into the reason that you brought me here, the relationships that he had built with some of those in-state guys, that's going to be hard to replicate. And Ryan Day is doing a really nice job right now, kind of patching that up and making sure that those guys here in the state know that, they're going to hire a really good offensive line coach. But I think Justin Fry, like, he's hard to replace. And again, fans probably don't want to hear that because they were frustrated by some of the recruiting stuff with the 5-star misses. But like, those 5 stars, they're so hard to reel in. And the development that he did with this roster over the course of the last few months was really impressive. And I think that, he should be remembered as a guy who Ohio State fans maybe maybe a little bit took for granted. I don't like to tell fans how to feel, but I think there's a little bit of that, taking a guy like him for granted with the developmental path that he put some of these players on.
Spencer Holbrook from Letterman Row is with us here on Buckeye Roundtable. On that front on the O-line, though, I know the Armstrong twins in the 2024 class, there's some high hopes for them, maybe some development needed there. But also in the 2025 class, what about Carter Lowe? I mean, this is a big-time recruit. Maybe not a five-star by all accounts, but a top 100 guy for sure from Toledo Whitmer.
Yeah, I really like him too. He's got really good size. He looks like he's ready to not play in college football, because I don't think any freshman should ever look ready. It's so rare.
That's hard as a tackle.
In the offensive line. Oh yeah, especially a tackle. That's why, people still refer to what Orlando Pace did as like a miracle. His freshman year coming in and starting right away. Like, that's unheard of, and I think the only one to do it since then is Michael Jordan at Ohio State. So, you just don't expect that from a guy. But Carter looks really good. He looks ready to compete. He looks ready to learn and to grow, and I think he was really excited for that development under Justin Fry. And so it's going to be important for Ryan Day, not just for the recruiting angle, but like, hey, you've got a really good young tackle on your roster in Ian Moore, who's about to enter his second year, his second spring with the program. You've got a really good freshman coming in for his first spring on campus, tackle in Carter Lowe. Like, that, those guys need the development now. So you don't have to go into the transfer portal and get an Ethan Onyanwa. You don't have to go into the transfer portal and get Philip Daniels from Minnesota, even though he's kind of a guy who probably should have been at Ohio State all along. If you can develop Ian Moore and the Armstrongs and Carter Lowe, you don't have to go into the portal and do these things, because you'll have homegrown talent at tackle. So the offensive line thing is so critical. I actually think, and this might be a hot take for some people, I think that the offensive line spot is the most critical for Ryan Day to get right, because with the offensive coordinator, the worst case scenario is that Ryan Day calls plays, and I think we've seen how good that can be, even if it's not perfect. The defense, the baseline level of talent is so different than in 2021 that even if Ryan Day makes a hire that's a little shaky, I think the talent can get you some places that maybe that 21 team that Kerry Combs was coaching with the defense can get you to some places that maybe they couldn't. The offensive line is a different story. Like, Justin Fry was doing a really good job developing these guys, and if you make the wrong hire at the offensive line coach, you not only put the developmental path for some of these guys on the roster in jeopardy, you put the 2026 in-state class that has really good offensive line talent here in Ohio in jeopardy of going elsewhere, particularly Clemson, because they're doing a really good job recruiting it right now. So I think the offensive line coaching job is the most critical for Ryan Day to get right in this specific instance.
No, that's interesting. You make some good points there, Spencer. The other thing, too, like on the coaching front, how it correlates back to recruiting that I've been thinking about here is you look at a guy like Tim Walton, who's getting some buzz, rightfully so, for defensive coordinator for an internal hire, right? And you look at Brian Hartline, who's already kind of been shown that door offensively. But when you're really, really good at something, and those are two of your crack recruiters on either side of the ball, do you want to sort of like mess with that jive? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's intriguing to figure out if, like, if Brian Hartline would connect to offensive linemen and to running backs the way that he does with wide receivers, because he's so good at connecting with these players at receiver and these coaches who are coaching these guys, and the 7-7 leaders. We know his South Florida Express sweatshirt and the picture and all that. He's really good at forming those relationships.
Yeah.
Would that translate to the offensive line recruiting? If he's the offensive coordinator and has a new tag to walk into high schools with, would that translate to helping Carlos Lockman with running back recruiting? Not that he needs it, but just adding a little bit more of that cachet. Would it, hey, that's the guy who coached Jeremiah Smith and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Marvin Harrison. Like, does that resonate with the offensive linemen and the quarterbacks and things like that? Like, there is an element of, unknown with Brian Hartline of like, well, if he can recruit wide receiver this well, can he start to, stretch his arm into that offensive line recruiting and stretch his arms into that quarterback recruiting and get those things right? And I do wonder if that's something that's being considered here, is like, he's such a good wide receiver recruiter. You don't want to take him out of that element, but you also, like, the unknown is a nice drug to have in front of you. Like, because you could just, if it does work and clicks, you could talk about the recruiting really, really taking off, which is saying something considering how well they already do it.
It's one of those things, right, Spencer, where you're too good at what you do, so you almost diminish your chances. It's not like Brian Hartline would ever be without chances, though, right? Like, he's so good at what he does. In a fraternity like college football coaches, you're going to have offers. You and I, we don't want to be too good at what we do, right? We want to have chances to go up, right? We want, we got to get to, national radio or whatever. I'm not even saying that I want to do national radio. It's merely an analogy and a point that I'm making. Spencer, don't go anywhere because you're good at what you do and we want you here in this town. Always appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Timmy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, real quick though, before you go, what's something that's on Ohio State's recruiting board right now? Like, what's the next couple of weeks? What's on the to-do list for Buckeyes and recruiting?
Well, I mean, with the dead period, it does change some things, but I don't want to beat that dead horse, but I think this in-state stuff is so important. Like, losing Justin Fry when you were really gaining some momentum with some of these offensive linemen, Max Riley and Adam Guthrie, like, those two guys are Ohio State Clemson battles, and Clemson's doing a really good job of pitching them in their specific recruitments. Ohio State's done a really nice job, too, in building those relationships with Justin Fry. Now it's on Ryan Day to keep those relationships together until he gets an offensive line coach in there. And, again, I think it's important that they get one in there who can relate to kids and immediately connect to be able to tell them, like, hey, you're in good hands if you come to Ohio State and you follow that path of in-state recruits. Like, I just think that is so critical. And we're talking about it a lot, but I also think we're not talking about it enough because I think the state of Ohio, for once, in a rare instance, has enough offensive line talent where if you didn't go anywhere else and you just took all Ohio guys in this cycle, you'd probably be in pretty good shape. But with that being said, if the Buckeyes can hire the right offensive line coach and get a couple of these in-state guys secured, then you can talk about, hey, you've already got a really good base of this offensive line class. Go take a home run swing at a 5-star like a Jackson Cantwell. Go down to Vero Beach and try to pull Micah Champ-Smith out of Florida. Like, if you get the in-state stuff, battened down there early in this cycle, you can go take those 5-star swings. And if you miss on them, you still think that you have a really good class there. That's what the offensive line recruiting should be in this 2026 cycle. But it's imperative that they get the right guy in there for the offensive line coach so he can start molding those relationships. That way those Ohio guys know that they're in good hands. They can commit early, and then they can start to go take those 5-star swings.
In the old school National Signing Day, when you believe it, coming up here in a couple days. Let's get Zahir Mathis. That'd be very, very nice for the Buckeyes to do. Spencer, always appreciate the time. Let's do it again soon.
Sounds great, Timmy. Thanks.
Yep, good stuff. Spencer Holbrook, ladies and gentlemen, from Letterman Row. Follow his stuff there. Covers Buckeye football and does a very, very good job. We are going to go ringside with Rollick and talk some Buckeye men's hockey coming up as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Seller. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Seller today on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. I remember seeing that CareSource heart around town and just knowing they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. And that means the world to so many children today. My name is Cardale Jones, and I was a CareSource kid.
CareSource, your Medicaid, your choice. Visit caresource.com/Medicaid.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Going to have some hockey talk coming up. We'll hit you with a little men's basketball injury report as well. Hey, Buckeye fans, power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage. Their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, looking at Jake Diebler's men's basketball team, they, of course, missed Sean Stewart against Illinois. Illinois got Tomislav Ivisic back. That was a big difference in the game. And Deeb's kind of talking on the radio show today about how this is the season for illnesses.
You know, I think you're seeing, it's certainly not exclusive to us. You're seeing it, right? Illinois certainly just came off of having someone deal with illness. You know, it impacted us last game with Sean. And, yeah, it's kind of one day at a time to figure out who you got available.
Hopefully everybody is available on Thursday. Colin White was back, who's been banged up with the leg injury. He was available. He played against Illinois. Now, Diebler saying about bumps and bruises, it's a grind right now for everybody.
This time of year, you're never really going to be at 100%, right? Like, even if you're available, Ron, you remember playing, like, you're available, you're not 100%. You're just the grind of the season. We have unbelievable, I've said this over and over, the resources at Ohio State, I think, are the absolute best.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody give credit to the strength and conditioning and the medical science teams at Ohio State more so than Jake Diebler. It is often. He knows what he's doing. It really is. And I'm sure they are a big help. I'm sure it has to be good stuff. At Ohio State, you do want to have the best, and I'm sure it's the best over there. Our injury report was presented by Elk and Elk. Serious fans of Ohio State athletics, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Go Buckeyes.
It's time to hit the ice and talk some Ohio State hockey. This is Buckeye Roundtable's Rinkside with Rollick.
Always a good night to catch up with Steve Rollick and talk some men's hockey. Steve, split the home series against Michigan State. I know you wanted to win that second one, but let's first talk about that first one. You guys had a lot of things clicking to get that victory over the Spartans.
Yeah, it was a big night for us. We had, 2,000 students here, which was incredible. It was awesome to see, and some good energy in the barn. And, for us to get one and sneak one out of there, I thought we played pretty well from top to bottom and came through, and it was nice to get that first win.
It was really nice to see both Riley Thompson and Gunnar Fontaine, log the games that they logged. I mean, when you get a couple of goals from Riley there and you see him locked in like that, that's got to give you confidence as a coach, right? How it's going to go the rest of the night?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, obviously you need your go-to players to be big time in big games, and certainly Thursday night he was. And I know we talked a lot about getting in the paint, getting close to the goalie and taking his eyes away. Well, I think he scored both goals from about 6 inches away from the crease. So,
hey, get to those spots, right? That's kind of what you want to do.
That's the dirty work. You got to get there.
So the other guy that's been playing really well for you is your sophomore, Max Montez. I mean, he can score it, but he has logged points in 9 straight games. He's coming along here for your team.
Yeah, he's electric, and he brings a ton of energy to the game. He can get up and down the rink, and again, we're just working on a 200-foot game with him. But yeah, he can light it up in a hurry, and he's scoring some big goals and creating a lot of things offensively.
So you guys took the 4-2 victory against Michigan State on Thursday. 4-1 was the loss on Friday night. Didn't feel like it was ever that out of hand or that you guys weren't in it. What were some of the things that were clicking Thursday that didn't carry into Friday?
Well, again, you got to try to stay ahead of the sticks against teams like this. You got to try to, keep that lead, stay with the lead, stay close, and 3-1 game with 50 seconds to go in the second. We had a guy trip down, and they called it tripping and a diving. So it nullified our power play, and then they get the open netter there at the end. So unfortunately, we just didn't have a lot of juice. They played extremely well, and there's a reason why they're one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, that's right. Michigan State was the second best team in the polls going into that series, so you're going to get their best shot. But Steve, that was just the second regulation loss at Value City Arena this season. So what? Obviously, when you're at home, you want to be at your best, but you then have to follow through and execute. Why do you think you guys have been so much better on home ice this season?
Well, I don't know. I mean, again, our guys love playing here, and the last few weekends we've had some really good crowds, and the guys get juiced up for that. So whatever the reason is, hopefully we can continue to do that here over the next month.
I felt I would ask this here because I'm coming off a little winter cold of my own. I felt like crap last week, but I'm feeling a lot better tonight to be able to talk to you. How has your team been with that? I'm seeing a lot of winter teams being affected right now.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I think there's a lot of teams, including ours. I mean, it was a grind last week. We were on the road prior at Penn State, came home, had a short week, and yeah, we've had a lot of guys come down with whatever it is here over the last few weeks, and it's kind of that you got to grind through it, but you need the rest, but you can't take time off all the time either. So it's kind of that fine line between being out there working hard and trying to get these guys healthy.
No kidding. Feel pretty good about the series coming up, though. I mean, you got till Friday to get ready for Notre Dame on the road in South Bend.
Yeah, we're going to have to, right? There's no other way. So, you know what? We just want to have a great week here, good week of practice, understand what we need to work on, and we're going in against a team that can get up and down the rink. And, obviously they went to Mariucci and beat the Gophers. I mean, they're dangerous. So we got to be at our best.
I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but when we look to the future, I'd say the Compton Family Ice Arena, that's a nice, no pun intended, a nice comp for what could possibly be done. A nice little 5,000-seat arena. We could do a little bit bigger, but that's a pretty slick rink where Notre Dame plays. What's the environment like over there?
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what. You want to walk into a building and see what you'd love to have. 2 sheets and beautiful setup and restaurant bar area up top and great seating. And I'll tell you what. I mean, hopefully at some point for our men's and women's ice hockey programs here, they can put a facility with 4,500 to 5,000 seats, and I think it would be a grand slam for these athletes and these programs.
Oh, it's going to happen because I'm going to twist Ross Bjork's arm until it does for you.
I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, whatever I can do to help the teams here at Ohio State that are doing their thing and deserve some good things coming their way. Best of luck. This is going to be a big series. You guys are playing some good hockey right now. Keep it going, Steve.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you.
Always appreciate talking to you too, Steve, and I hope to see these guys stay with it. I know they will. They're really, really good this year, and I don't think they have even fired on all cylinders the way that they're capable of. They've played some really, really good games, and you're just getting into the thick of the season here and trying to put that tournament resume together. So hopefully they keep doing that. Speaking of tournament resumes, we're going to hit you with our Ohio College Hoops update coming up here, and I've got some sound for you. One of the coaches of one of the Big Four teams in Ohio almost was at a breaking point this weekend after a key loss. That is coming up as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
What do football and finances have in common? The team you play with makes a big difference. Credit Union of Ohio is your financial team to help you save and spend like a winner. Whether you're looking to make a big purchase or find ways to build up your savings, you'll always work with a team player at Credit Union of Ohio. Navigate your next big money play easily through Credit Union of Ohio's website at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Rolling along here, episode 2 of the winter spring season. Back here, it's Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. This Buckeye men's basketball team returns to action Thursday night against Maryland. Our coverage will start at 6:15 with the Toyota Buckeye pregame show here on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Buckeye Roundtable's Ohio College Hoops Update.
All right, so before I get to the program that I teased, where I'm going to give you some sound from their head coach, where he's at a breaking point, and you'll hear that. Like he basically had the, what do you call that? Like it wasn't really an apology. You'll hear it's like the State of the Union almost. This is where we're at, folks. We know it's not acceptable. Almost like a come to Jesus moment. That's what I'd call it for this coach. But before we hit on that, start with the Dayton Flyers. You know, I talk a lot about Dayton basketball here and the expectation that you have as a Dayton Flyers fan, especially in the confines of the A-10. A-10 basketball is good, but I think Dayton has the infrastructure as a basketball program and certainly the passion. I think those two things, they're better than anyone else in the A-10. So there certainly is going to be an expectation to always be at least near the top of those A-10 standings. And this was not really the start. After the start, you beat a team like Northwestern at home. You almost take down North Carolina at the Maui, and you're competitive with Iowa State, and then you actually beat UConn when UConn was the number 2 team in the country. So you come back from Maui, you have a win over Marquette. It's just a strange season for Dayton. The resume is all over the place. So with those wins, and then to be 15-7 and just 5-4 in conference, you always want to be up near the top. I mean, VCU, St. Louis, George Mason, they're good. There's some pedigree there. Loyola, Chicago, Rhode Island. I agree. St. Joe's, certainly, basketball pedigree. But I think, for the most part, Dayton is number 1 as far as infrastructure, passion, support. So you want to always be up there. And they're 5-4, 15-7 right now. They beat St. Louis on the road, so that was big. They lost to St. Bonaventure on the road, but the road win at St. Louis. That was key. Then they'll play Davidson tomorrow at home. Now, Xavier just lost a game on the road at Creighton. That was just a tough, gritty win by Creighton. It was pretty steady. I think Xavier was down by 5 at halftime. They made a little push in the second half. I think they had that game tied up at 61, but Kalkbrenner, really good player for Creighton, had 29 points. Creighton at home, they're going to be tough to beat. They're 9-2 in the Big East for a reason, 16-6. So Xavier, I want to say, is identical to Ohio State. Yeah, they're 13-9 overall, 5-6 in conference. Not saying that their resumes are identical, because Ohio State certainly has a better resume than Xavier right now with some of their wins, but same record, same conference record. Now, to finish out looking at the Big Four, we go to the Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, remember when Ohio State played Cincinnati in the exhibition game? And rightfully so, we were making Cincinnati out to be this big team coming into this year. Wes Miller has been there for years now. He's been the guy since Mick Cronin left. North Carolina dude. There was a lot of hopes in what Wes would change up with this program, the offensive system that he would put into place, and my goodness, you want to talk about lack of offense here lately? I don't know if this team can score 70 points at this juncture. Okay, they did lose to Texas Tech 81-71, but that was the last time they scored 70 or more was their win against Grambling. Yes. And their loss to Kansas at home, they scored 40 points. They barely hit 40 points at home against Kansas. Now, it's acceptable to lose to a team like Kansas, but you want to at least defend your home court and be able to put the ball in the bucket to some extent. They only scored 52, and they just got decimated at BYU. They were closer at Utah, still lost that game. It's not a very good Utah team either. And then they lost at home by 13 to West Virginia. And Wes Miller afterwards, this is how he started his post-game press conference. Immediately went into this.
I'm disgusted with our play, and I don't want to take anything away from West Virginia. I thought Javon Small was a lot to handle, and he had a nice game. I thought Yesufu was a difference maker, because I think he's averaging 4 or something. We certainly were concerned with him and respect him.
I love that when you're like, we're concerned about him, we respect him, but 16 points and 6 for 6 from the floor, we don't respect him like that. How do we let Joseph Yesufu go off like that? We're the Cincinnati Bearcats. We play defense when we put these jerseys on. And some of the dudes that came through this program, they would be disgusted. That's why he started off the press conference by saying he's disgusted. And he has Simas Lukosius, who's one of their better players, that had an awful game. He was 1 for 7 and only scored 8 points. It's like, hey, we got our 20 and 10 guys sitting right here next to me. Disgusted by the way we played. Disgusted by him. No, that's not what he said. But that was the awkward level, the awkwardness to it. It's a home game, right? It's a home game, home press conference setup. Wes Miller continued on. And then it gets better. Listen to this one. And then the third one will get even better.
So I don't want to take anything away from the way they played. I thought their pressure in the half court was significant. It affected us. Their ball pressure affected us getting to spots on the floor, reversing the ball, the whole nine. And the turnovers were extremely frustrating. You know, the ones out in the open floor were like very frustrating, because we're just throwing the ball across the floor for no reason with no advantage. and throwing it to the other team. And when we have to be a team that gets out and runs and puts pressure in our transition offense, we didn't do that. So 14 turnovers hurts.
And then here it was. Let's just say this is the come to Jesus moment, the message to Cincinnati basketball fans that have expectations.
I'm the leader of our program, and it falls on me. And if I'm somebody that supports this program, I'd be frustrated. I'd be pissed at what I was watching. You should be. I am too. And I take full responsibility. It's on me. And we got a lot of basketball left. We need to figure out a way to play a style and a level of basketball that makes people proud about the way that we wear the jersey. And right now we're not doing that. And again, that falls on me. And there's nothing I could say that hurts more to say, but it's the truth.
We need to go back and round up some of the former players. Where's Jason Maxiel when you need him? Where's Kenyon Martin? Get some of these guys. Jerron Cumberland, some of these dudes. Come on, get some of them. Round up the troops. They need you. I'm curious, Cincinnati basketball fans, where you are with this program, because this is year 4 for Wes Miller. He had 23 wins in year 2, 22 wins in year 3 last year, but overall, the conference record, and now that they're in the Big 12, I think you're seeing they're 2-8, understanding what life in this conference will be like year in and year out. So back-to-back NITs, didn't make the tournament in his first year, but year 1, you're all good there. But God, you gave up, basically. I don't want to say gave up. I don't quite know how it ended with Mick Cronin, if that was more him walking or end of the contract, or if both sides were just kind of the Jets had cooled on each other, because Mick Cronin was making the tournament every year, but I think Cincy fans wanted some deeper runs. It was enough of making the tournament every year. Now let's do something while we're there. And now you can't get back to the NCAA tournament. And this team is going nowhere fast. They can't score. That's a thing. If you want to get to the tournament in this conference right now. So rough patch for the Cincinnati Bearcats. That's the Ohio College Hoops update. They are on the road at Central Florida. Central Florida almost took Kansas down in the field house. That game is coming up in a couple of nights. We will get you all caught up with everything else that's going on around the Block O as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Donato's is dancing into 2025 with a New Year's deal that's too good to miss. All January long, get 25% off everything you order online. That's 25% off Donato's famous thin crust pizzas, oven-baked subs, fresh salads, wings, desserts, all your Donato's favorites. So get 2025 started with 25% off your online order now and throughout January using promo code 2025. Order with the app or at donatos.com.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Timmy Hall. Buckeye Roundtable is brought to you in part by Encova Insurance for auto and home, encircling you with solutions you can trust. Encova, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtable's Around the Block O.
Let's go around the block O, shall we? I did want to start off with something that I thought was funny, and shout out to Jay Mosley, who is the head coach of the Ohio State men's golf program. I've gotten to meet Lisa Strom and Jay Mosley, the coaches of both the women's and men's programs. They have a really cool facility for golf nerds. If you could ever, I'm sure like they would, if you called them up, it'd give you a chance to have a little tour of what their facility is like. But out there at the Scarlet and Gray Ohio State Golf Club, just off campus, that's where their home is. Perfect place for the golf program, right? Not to be like on central campus, but out to the west there where the course is. So they can just grab a cart and go out to their driving range or go to their short game facility or go play Gray or go play Scarlet, do whatever they want to do. They're right there where they need to be. It's perfect. When the weather gets nice, I'm jealous of like where they are, what they get to do every day, all day. So with this Ryan Day golf cart crash thing that took over the world, and as Day was doing his talk show circuits, which shout out to him, he was very funny, very personable, ready to laugh, ready to have a good time, which is what you want to do when you're doing those shows. I thought he was awesome on Fallon. I thought Kelly Clarkson was really funny on that show with the line about, like, don't blank this up. Like, what would you give the Eagles for their halftime speech? And then Ryan Day is belly laughing. But he's getting asked about that golf cart crash all the time. And so Jay Mosley, the men's golf coach, he films on their Twitter account. It's Ohio State M Golf. Follow that on Twitter next. And he has a public service announcement. And it's him sitting in a golf cart. And I knew exactly what it was going to be before I even clicked play. And the whole thing is great. It's so nonchalant. It's just so normalized the way he's just looking into the camera and giving a little instruction on how to properly use a golf cart and how, if you did not know, there is this transmission switch right here where you click this button and then you hear the beeping. It won't go away until you put it back into gear. This helps you reverse. So maybe if you can't take that turn, flip it in reverse, turn that wheel the opposite way, get yourself some more room, and then just give that gas pedal a nice slow tap and get it accelerating, and then see that you can clear the turn. I know I play some of my golf in Central Ohio at York Golf Club. We got a little turn on 17 green and 18 tee box. There's always the spot on the cart path that I'm not sure if I can quite make that turn. It's always it's going to be a special finish if I park the cart the right way where I can actually make that 360 turn. But anyway, some stuff here. Men's volleyball ranked 13th in the country, 3-5 on the year after hosting a power-packed weekend of teams. They fell in 4 sets to USC and UCLA, so hopefully they get back on the horse. That was tough sledding. Women's hockey split a weekend series at Minnesota. Both teams in a tie for second in the WCHA. Buckeyes are 21-6-3 overall, 15-6-3 in the conference. Women's gymnastics fell to Michigan on Friday at the Chrysler Center. That's too bad. Want to see them get it going the next time that they are out. How about Buckeye wrestling, though? 4th-ranked wrestling team. They got to 12-1, a solid 25-14 win at number 18, Michigan. Men's gymnastics, they were on the road at the number 1 team in the country. They fell to Oklahoma in their last time out, so hopefully they get it going as well. All in all, pretty good week for things around the Block O. Want to see this men's basketball team get it back on Thursday. Buckeye women's hoops, 20-1 right now, and they're going on the road for games against UCLA and USC. It's going to be really, really difficult. Guys, thank you so much for checking us out this week. We will be back next week. Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. The executive producer of Ohio State Radio Sports is Skip Mossick. For Bodie Wells, I'm Timmy Hall. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Congrats, Buckeyes. Cheers for the 2024 national champions. We know there's nothing like celebrating in Columbus. So wherever you choose to celebrate, choose chill. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey, it's Anthony. I got to tell you, when you don't have the support you need, it affects everything. Feet, knees, hips, back, even your mood. I finally went to the Good Feet store, and once I was personally fitted for my arch supports, I felt a ton better. I will never wear another pair of shoes again without sliding in my personally fit Good Feet arch supports. That's because they help me eliminate my foot pain. It's such a good feeling knowing that I can be on my feet and not worrying about I'm going to wake up with low back pain or feel a weakness somewhere. I trust the Good Feet store because for more than 30 years, they've helped thousands of people just like me get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. They take pleasure in that. And it's their personal 3-step system designed to support, balance, and strengthen your feet that guides them into their ideal position. I'm the proof. I wear them every day, even when I'm biking at the gym. So go in, take the free test walk at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get